I'm, I'm, so what happened is you just have to look at the camera for a few seconds. I'll introduce you, and after the introduction, you can just talk to me.
Okay.
I just turn to you, and then you'll be just like having a coffee shop talk.
Yeah, no problem.
Caryn. Okay. Just Caryn. So I will not ask you any personal questions. It's basically about your mixologist's career. Wow. This will be fun. This will be really, really fun.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, just look at the camera for a few seconds. Hi, welcome to the National Green Stories Online News. I'm Robin Stienberg at Hyatt, and I have Caryn today. She's one of the top 5 mixologists in Singapore. And Caryn, welcome to our show. And how are you?
I'm good. Well, I wouldn't really call myself top 5, like maybe top 5 in a Diageo World Class competition recently. But like there are lots of really good mixologists out there, and actually I prefer call myself a bartender.
Oh dear, how can you do that?
Because I think mixologist is a term that bartenders with overinflated egos coin for themselves. Because at the end of the day, you're just mixing drinks, right? I mean, you don't need a degree to be a mixologist. So, I mean, that's what I think, right? So you don't, well, I don't know where the term came up from.
Okay.
But like a bartender is someone that makes someone feel comfortable when they walk into your bar, you make them a good drink. Whether or not you use different techniques in your drink in terms of like using something molecular or you want to customize cocktails for them, at the end of the day, your job is still a bartender. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when did you first begin taking this interest being a mixologist or bartender, you call it?
Well, basically, I started my bar 10 months ago.
Oh, really? Just
only
10
10 months ago.
10 months ago. Okay.
Yeah, and that was before because I was like, okay, I need for it to be a really good cocktail bar in Singapore, and our pricing is not too expensive for a good drink with like fresh herbs and fruits and good spirits. Like we only use premium and above, and like not charge an arm and a leg for that. So then I started Barcode, but and then when we started, we actually hired Din Hassan. He's a really well-known mixologist or bartender, if you want to call him mixologist. Yeah, he's been in industry for like more than 20 years.
Okay.
So he was making drinks behind the bar. So when the bar first opened, I was out there entertaining people while he was making the drinks. But as it got busier and busier, I realized I had to go in and help out. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any drinks served.
Okay.
So then I learned to make the top 3 drinks on our list, like the ones that like people always order. So that every time a drink order comes in, if it's any of those 3, then I'll make it. But otherwise, he makes the rest of it. So he taught me how to make those 3. So from just memorizing the recipes for 3 drinks, then I started asking him questions about, like, how do you balance this drink? So this person says he wants something refreshing. Like, how do you make something refreshing? Like, how do you come up with all these different flavors? And he taught me how to balance the drink. Once you know how to balance a drink and you know what flavors goes well with what flavors, you don't actually have to make the drink to taste it. You can make it up in your head.
Really?
So that when you make it, you actually know that it will taste good.
Huh. Amazing. Now,
Yeah.
I had this theory that bartenders don't really care, but they just make a guess of how the drink works.
Yeah, like that's what I don't like, you see. Like, I mean, if I go to another bar and I order a mojito, for example, a really, really simple drink, the first one might be like fantastic, and then I order a second one. But the second one could be completely diluted and doesn't taste the same at all, so there's no consistency. So that's what gets me very frustrated. That's why I started a bar.
Oh, okay.
So I could make my own drinks, but I didn't know how to, so they taught me. And later on, because me and another girl, Caryn, we entered the Diageo World Class, and it's a 6-month-long competition.
Okay.
So that actually taught me a lot as well, and it helps me grow in terms of like my knowledge. And they put us through the Wine and Spirits Education Trust program for free.
Oh wow! Okay.
There's a few $1,000s like just to get the certification, but they got teachers to teach us. They flew in bartenders from Japan, from England and stuff, just to give us like lectures and teach us how to make drinks. So I mean, it helps a lot because you grow a lot, and different bartenders have different experience. So then you gain a little from each person, and you take away a little bit from each, and that's how you come up with your own style.
And what is your style?
I don't know. I like using fruits a lot. I use herbs as well, but not very much. And okay, honestly, if you ask me, my favorite drink is beer or gin tonic, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of clients will come to me, and this is Singapore, right?
Mhm.
They'll always say, I want something sweet, I want something milky, or I want something strong, but you don't taste the alcohol. Like they always ask for drinks like this. So then I started learning to actually make drinks like. But yeah, but I'm good. I like classics as well.
Oh, okay. Then what is the weirdest drink that you ever made?
Weirdest drink. Okay, it's called the wet dream.
The wet drink. What is that?
You see, a lot of times we customize drinks for people, and then they tell us, hey, we really like this drink. When we come back, we want to order it again. So then we'll have to write the recipe down. Then we don't have a name for it. So the client will name it. So this girl, Nina, she loves this drink a lot, and she named it the wet dreams. So every time she comes to the bar, she asks for wet dreams. It just sounds really weird, but it's
Does it work?
yeah, like she loves it. And after she ordered, everyone else starts ordering.
The wet dream. What does it do?
Okay, it's
Does it give you wet dream? No.
well, it gives you an orgasm according to her. Basically, it's homemade berry jam.
Uh-huh.
So we actually made our own jam out of cranberries, blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
So we add a little bit of that with vanilla. We actually have fresh vanilla pods from Bali that we bring in, and we make our own syrup out of it. Milk, vodka, and then you just need to shake it out. A bit of lemon. You shake that up in a glass, and you garnish it with flambéed marshmallows.
Wow.
So she calls it the wet dream. And that's the weirdest drink I've made because I don't like sweet stuff.
Yeah, have you tried it yourself?
So, yeah, like I mean, I think it's okay, but like I don't like anything sweet. So that's why I prefer.
How sweet is sweet? For
I
the
don't
wet
know.
dreams?
Maybe like average sweetness, but like for me it's too sweet.
Okay.
Because I like drinks like gin tonic or like beer. Like there's barely any sweetness in it. I like old fashions.
Okay.
You know, like Manhattans and yeah.
Okay. And so now come back to the subject of being the mixologist. You know, how does it feel to be the top 5 in Singapore?
Actually, it was a pleasant surprise because getting in a competition, I had next to none, like no experience. I've only bartended for like 2 to 3 months before we actually started to join a competition. So like I didn't know how far I would actually eventually get, but it's thanks to the guidance of a lot of people. Like I've asked a lot of my friends for help, and I've asked them like, and for example, my friend Michael Callahan from 28 Hong Kong. So he runs the bar at 28 Hong Kong. He's probably one of the best mixologists or bartender you should like call it. Like, yeah. And I'll just go to his bar and I'll just sit down and watch the way he interacts with his clients. Like every drink he makes, he tells them a story behind it. So then that's where I learned. Like, and I've also learned a lot from Anthony from Sugar and Pony, and Mark Tay and Jared from Bar Smith, and they help out at my bar Barcode as well. So they've given me a lot of like tips, and they've taught me a lot of new things, like how to cut an orange peel and like not break it until the entire orange is like clear. I mean, I cut my hand a few times learning it, but you know the technique is there now. So I mean, I'm really grateful that a lot of these people, I mean, they may be really, really good experienced bartenders with more than 20 years experience, but they're willing to help. You know, they're willing to share a little bit of the knowledge, and that's how I grow. I mean, you can only grow if you're not afraid of asking people for help when you need to, you know? Like when I don't know how to do something, then I'll ask someone.
So ask and you shall receive. So,
Yep.
So
And being a girl, it's easier for me to ask than if I'm a male bartender.
really, how come?
Because if you're a male bartender, you have your ego as well. You wouldn't want to ask another guy like, hey, I don't know how to make this drink. Can you tell me the recipe? Like, you know, it's
Really?
yeah, they won't. I mean, guys, when they lose directions, they won't even ask someone for direction. They just pretend to read the map, right?
Okay.
So for a girl, it's easy for me because I ask.
Not bad. So ask and you shall receive, and it doesn't take too much to ask, although if you're a girl. So is there any challenging experience that you faced during the competition? Were there any other female competitors as well?
Yeah, there are, and like they're all really good.
Okay.
Like Kino from Bar Stories, Felicia, who's now with Cuffling Club, Caryn, who is my colleague as well. So we're actually up against each other in the competition. But it's okay because we both end up in top 5. But
that's nice.
yeah, that's kind of fun because we both started together.
And,
She started 10 months ago as well.
wow.
So we started at the same time.
And do you see more women coming into this trade as
Yeah,
well?
because it's actually really fun.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, there are a lot of females coming up in the trade, and it's nice to feel that, you know, it's not a male-dominated industry.
Okay.
I mean, girls have really good taste buds, so.
Yeah. So, hey, women, You are taking charge pretty soon.
And
Sooner than you
also,
think.
if you're with female bartender, you can pick up more boys.
Oh, okay. And guys, well, I don't know. And stay cool. But anyway, the about being the philosophy of mixologist. What is your perception and your understanding of being a mixologist? What's the philosophy
Okay.
behind it?
I think being a mixologist or a bartender, the most important thing is when someone comes into your bar for a drink, whether or not they're alone at a bar or they're with a group of friends, I mean, you should be able to communicate with the client because the most important thing is he has to feel comfortable being in a bar. Sometimes I might feel like going out for a drink, and I don't want to go out alone because what if like I'm there alone, I feel a bit strange, like no one's talking to me. But as a very good bartender and mixologist, you should interact with your client. You know what they like and you know what they want. If they're upset, try to make them happy, When people are sad, they drink. When they're happy, they drink too. So just make sure anyone who walks in the door, whether be it happy or sad, will always walk out happy. I mean, that's the main aim of being a bartender these days. I mean, they come to you at the bar. A lot of people tell you things at the bar as well, things that they may not tell their friends. Because, you're actually strangers, but you're making that person a drink. And it's like, oh, I have a really bad day, I really need a drink, and I make a drink, like, oh, why is it a bad day? And then, you start complaining, you become somewhere they go to for comfort as well, so.
So you become a mediator.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think a good bartender should really make sure the client walks out happy, make sure he gets what he wants. If he comes and tells you he wants a sour drink, don't make him something sweet or bitter. If he tells you he wants a strong drink, don't over dilute his drink. I mean.
Sounds like a psychiatrist.
Yeah, but if he tells you like, hey, I want something with rosemary and cucumber in my drink, even if you think it's weird, you should just make it.
Now, being a bartender, I mean, it's a challenging trade as well. And what advice, well, before I ask for your advice, may I ask, what made you come into this trade as a mixologist? Was it by accident or was it because of?
It happened by accident, but then I grew to love it. I mean, it's really fun being behind a bar and coming up with different concoctions. Like every day we come out with something new. We even have a little stove next to the bar. We can cook our own syrups and stuff. So, we get to try something new every day. So it's not stagnant. And people you meet every single day, they're all different. Yes, your regulars, you meet them all the time, but
how do you first begin loving your job? And
maybe after the first month I bartended.
Really?
Because it was really fun. It was really hectic at first. And at first I was just following recipes, but it's nice to make a drink and give it to someone and they tell you, hey, this is a really good drink, I really like it. I mean, you feel satisfaction when you serve someone.
So you never dreamed to become a bartender at all until 10 months ago?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's hope. So try something new, you never know, you probably love it. And although it may not seem to be glamorous, but hey, trying is believing.
At the end of the day, it's about passion.
Ah,
If you have no passion in what you do, then there's no point.
passion.
Yeah.
I love that word, passion. So, what advice would you give for those who aspire to become a bartender or wanting to try out?
I think now the cocktail scene is coming up, so being a bartender doesn't just mean that you're in a club or you're in a bar just serving houseboys like simple drinks, So if you actually put some heart into it, you might actually improve a lot to the point where a lot of the big name cocktail bars will employ you as a mixologist and you get paid a shitload of money too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, like typical bartender in Singapore maybe get paid between 1,300 to like 2,000, right? If you're a manager, maybe 2,500 and 3,000. But if you're a really, really good mixologist or a bartender, they might pay you up to between 7,000 to 10,000 a month.
That's nice.
I've seen people who gets paid that much money because they're in charge of like a group of restaurants and they make drinks for every restaurant and they train. So this is where you should aim to be. A lot of people don't see a career path of being a bartender. They will tell you like, oh, at the end of the day, the most I can be is a head bartender and I get like 2,500, but it's not true these days. If you're really good at your trade and there is a need for it right now in Singapore, there's so many new cocktail bars out there, but there's lack of really good, passionate bartenders. So if you're good at it, you'll be paid really well.
Huh. So are you going to be the next one?
No, I need
That's
to
impressive.
hire people too.
Oh.
I'm in need of good bartenders too, so.
Okay. Well, look out for her, Caryn, at her Facebook or Google her. and you might get lucky. And so, what's next for the bartender scene? What's the trends like? Do you know? Could you give us some insight?
Right now it's just cocktail bars coming up everywhere. I mean, they're like in the last 3 months. There's Cuffling Club, there's Jigger and Pony, and I heard a couple more are coming up these days.
Oh,
so
wow.
people in Singapore are starting to appreciate cocktails made with fresh fruits.
Even in Southeast Asia.
Yes, in Jakarta, I was just recently there 2 weeks ago because I was invited over by one of the main groups that has a group of restaurants and stuff, and they needed some consulting work done, and they want to like increase the level of the bar.
Oh,
So
wow.
they want to use less of the artificial syrups and artificial like flavorings, and they want to incorporate like fresh fruits and herbs into it. Because I mean, in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, fruits and herbs are cheap. You can get it anywhere in the market, but a lot of people choose to buy bottled juices. I mean, if you're gonna use a premium spirit, why use something common and makes it taste shit?
So what's next for the bartending scene in Southeast Asia? Is it going to be?
It's gonna be cocktails all the way for a while.
Oh, okay.
Now people are even starting food pairing with cocktails.
Oh wow, really?
You know how they're food pairing with wine?
Mhm.
Recently, Mosaic in Bali, one of the top 100 French restaurants, they started cocktail pairing with the 6-course degustation menu.
Oh, that's nice.
And I think there's another restaurant here in Singapore, in St. Julien.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna have a cocktail pairing for Halloween as well.
Oh, that's
with
nice.
your food. And in Jakarta, that's what they're asking us to do. So I mean, people are coming with new ideas. I mean, all the time, food has always been with wine, but now food is more closely related to cocktail because a lot of bartenders also cook their ingredients.
Oh, okay.
They make their own syrup. If you make something with kantang flour like the laksa, we can make you a drink with kantang flour and coconut cream
Oh wow.
to pair with your dish.
Now, despite what is happening around the world, and especially the economic gloom and doom, do you think more people would drink?
Yeah, Singapore is not affected. Don't worry.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen the last one, and people are still spending a lot of money drinking.
Oh, well,
I mean,
really?
if you think about it, when you're sad, you drink. When you lose your job, you drink. When you're happy and celebrating, you drink too. So,
Well, guys, if you have some money to spare, do invest in a cocktail bar. You never know. And I'm not saying that you will make money, but hopefully you would. And no promises. And thank you for joining me here at the show. And thank you for giving us some great advice. Caryn, top 5 mixologists in Singapore. And give her applause if you can. And thank you for joining me. I'm Robin Stienberg, saying Hyatt. See you soon.
see ya. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Now.